What's up, YouTube? Grimsy42 here, and this is actually pretty exciting for me. This is my first pickups of the start of garage sale season. As some of you may or may not know, I'm from a very cold climate. I live right near the border of Canada, so unfortunately we get like 3-4 good months of summer. Usually it starts in May and it goes till maybe September, usually around August, and then it goes back to like frigid, freezing cold temperatures. So suffice to say, most of my pickups since I started this channel obviously have been done in the cold months, which limits me to, you know, like game stores, thrift stores, Craigslist, stuff like that. Flea markets were really unheard of just because there's not many around here, and the outside vendors are usually the ones you find the good deals at. So I was really limited, and I was eagerly anticipating the start of garage sale season. And I'll let you make your own mind up on whether or not you think I had a successful first weekend. I did get a lot of pickups, so I'll get right into them. I'll try to do them in some semblance of an order, in the order I picked them up, rather. So, one of the first places I stopped at, I immediately noticed this. It's the box and the steering wheel for Mario Kart for the Wii. And the guy you mentioned, the game wasn't in there, which is fine. But, you know, like I said, the wheel is here. And if you guys actually remember from my very first pickup video, I actually picked up a Mario Kart. And honestly, I didn't have this, so I was definitely interested. It actually fit my situation perfectly. He had it for $5. Now, I think the steering wheel itself is probably worth about $5, but to get the box is pretty cool. And I actually wasn't done at that specific garage sale, so I had a little more work I wanted to do. I did wind up picking up 2 other games, nothing amazing. They were both Xbox games. The first one's a Platinum Hits Hitman. Hitman 2, actually, and it's complete, and it's like in new condition. The second one I was a little more excited to get, but I recently picked up the limited edition to it, and that's Jade Empire. And again, it's also complete and in like new condition. So I bundled those all together. I want to say I paid like $8 for everything, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, it was a decent deal, and it was a good start to the thrift selling. So, I'm sorry, to the garage selling. Anyways, go to this other garage sale, and one thing that I always do, and I recommend you do the same whether you see them or you don't see them, is, you know, just go up to whoever is in charge of the garage sale, you know, and just very calmly, very politely ask them, you know, do they have any video games? Because a lot of times they'll have them in their house and they're debating whether or not they're going to sell them, or they never thought to sell them. And that was the instance in this case. I believe it was like the aunt of the people that live there. She kind of called the little kid over and said, you know, you had video games you wanted to sell, right? And he runs in the house, he comes back out with this like huge tote full of games, and I was super excited. There's a bunch of Wii games, so I'm going through them. Unfortunately, there was really nothing good there, and you know, I'm not in the habit of buying stuff just to buy stuff. If I don't want to play it or think it has, you know, a decent trade value, I'm not just going to pick it up to pick it up. I'd rather leave it for somebody who actually wants it. You know, I'm not trying to corner the market on games. I'm just trying to get my collection bigger. So, he did have a few DS games though, and I did wind up picking a couple of them up. And I got them at a great price. So the first one is Sonic Colors. Got this kind of cool foil effect on the cover, and I believe it's complete. I never really checked for the manual, so I guess I'll find out right now. Yep, yeah, it's got all the paperwork and stuff, and it is complete. There was like a, you know, like a warning guide in front of it, so I wasn't sure, but you know, it's good to know that it is complete. The second one I was definitely more excited to grab, and that's New Super Mario Brothers. I already have the sequel on the 3DS, and it's also complete. And I actually went garage selling this weekend that I went with a friend, and there was a few things he wanted there. It was Link's crossbow training for the Wii, and one of the Rayman games, I'm not sure which, for the Wii. So we wound up bundling it all together, and I offered 10, and they actually took it. So I thought that was a great deal. I think the Mario is worth more than that alone. So, you know, I was definitely happy, and they were in immaculate condition, so I had no problem picking that up. I guess the not the highlight, but the low light of my entire garage sailing pickups. Another house that I went to, I asked if they had any video games, and they were like, "Yeah, I just have one left." Unfortunately, I did wind up picking it up. The reason is he said he only wanted 50 cents for it, so I figured at very least I could, you know, just use it for the case. And that's the Jonas Brothers. I don't know why you'd want to see any of it, but it is complete. If for any reason, you know, anybody in the entire world is looking for this game, I don't care if it's your little brother, your little sister, or you. You know, I mean, I guess they're dreamy or something. I don't know. But yeah, if anybody's looking for this, let me know. I'll definitely trade it away for cheap. Like I said, I just picked it up because it was a free DS case, is the way I look at it. For 50 cents, you really can't go wrong. I'm sure I get a few bucks for it on eBay, so I picked it up. So I don't know. At another little stop, I did manage to pick up Mario vs. Donkey Kong. It's about like a $10 game, so I'm told it's fun. I messed around with it a little bit. It's really not for me. The wife likes the Game Boy, so I'll probably just let her play it. Hopefully she likes it. Okay, the next thing I'll do is another DS title I picked up at a booth, and I was really excited when I went over there. They had a ton of video games, and I kind of noticed a lot of them were priced high. They did have a stack of DS games, and there were no prices on them. All the games were kind of crap, Jonas Brothers level, if you will. And based on the prices of all the other games there, you know, like Xbox games, etc., I figured they'd be very expensive. So I only kind of wanted to ask what the prices were if it was a decent game, and I did find Zelda's Spirit Tracks. And again, this is complete. I'm kind of on a complete DS kick lately, just because they're kind of small. They shelve like CD cases, so you know you can definitely display a lot of them without taking up a lot of space. And I just got a 3DS, so I'm definitely trying to get my collection, you know, boosted up a little. And I actually wound up picking this up for $5, so that was great. I will pay $5 for a complete Zelda game any day of the week. Next one I'll do is actually kind of a funny story. We went to a garage sale, and I noticed they had some games, and none of them were really good games, but I did notice the Sega Superstars Tennis, and it looks kind of cool. I was a big fan of, I want to say it was called Virtua Tennis on Sega. It was a Dreamcast game, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and the controls were really good, so I assume this is a similar game with a similar engine. Kind of looks like a party game. It's up to 4 players. And I asked the lady what she wanted for it, and she said $5. So already I was like, I'll grab a PS3 game that I think I'll play for $5. But the fact that, you know, there's always that room to negotiate kind of kept me excited. And I said, you know, would you do 3 for it? And she was like, no. So I was like, 4? she still wouldn't come off it, but it was worth the 5. So I picked it up, and I mean, I don't know if you can tell, the disc is like flawless. So, and the case is still really shiny. It's not all dinged up. So I was definitely happy to pick this one up. And you know, it was worth $5. You know what I mean? You're not gonna beat $5 for a PlayStation 3 game. So I grabbed it. The next pickup is actually the first thing I wound up getting. It was just buried in the pile of stuff I'm showing you, so I got to it later. I kind of spotted it from like half a block away. It's kind of hard to miss. And that's a Platinum Wavebird. And I had been looking for one of these for a while, just because it was personally, I'd say, my favorite controller. I loved it because it was my first experience with wireless. And it's just such a comfortable, durable controller. I like the weight on it, and I think Nintendo makes fantastic controllers. Unfortunately, it is missing the back plate, and it did not come with a sensor. But I actually picked up a sensor while I was in Texas chasing with Billy and Jay, so I actually had a spare sensor. So I asked her what she wanted for it, and she said 50 cents. So I had no issue picking it up for 50 cents. All the buttons are stiff and everything's good. And I did the awesome question. I said, you know, hey, do you have any other video game stuff? And she's like, yeah, I think I do. And she runs in her house. And, you know, I'm excited. You never know what's going to come out. And she came out with this. This is a Indigo GameCube. So nothing special, really. I don't have an Indigo currently. This one's not in perfect cosmetic condition, but it's decent. So I'll be hanging on to it at least for now. I'm going to clean it up and see if I can get it to look a little better. The cool thing about it, though, I don't know if you can tell, is it's a G1, which basically, I'm not sure if you can see, it's got a port for component cables, so you could get a better resolution. So these are a bit more in demand than the standard models. So if you're ever looking to pick a GameCube up, keep an eye open for the extra port. It's going to be called Digital AV Out, and that'll let you know it's a G1 GameCube Generation 1. And like I said, it's something that people look for a little more. So I got this and the Wavebird, and I did pick something else up. It was just a non-game related item I got for the wife. But anyways, I wound up grabbing it all for $5, I think. So for $5, I mean, the Wavebird alone was worth that. I was definitely cool with that. Okay, the next pickup I want to do is something I grabbed 3 items actually. I noticed there were some plug-and-plays, and on another channel that I watch often, Business 17. It's run by a group of guys from Michigan. The main kind of host is a guy named Justin, and he gives lots of cool tips and advice. And one of the things he likes to pick up are plug-and-plays. And I never really realized there was a market for them. You know, I kind of think they're kind of corny. They never really did anything for me. But I saw 3 of them sitting there, so I figured I'd grab them, especially at the price. The first one is a Dora the Explorer one, so I can assure you I won't be keeping this. The next one is an Atari plug-and-play. The last one's obviously the best of the bunch. It's kind of like a Namco compilation, and it's kind of like a Namco Greatest Hits game you would find, where it's got, you know, 6 games on it, I believe. I think it's got, like, Dig Dug and Pac-Man and Pole Position and Galaga. So, the cool thing is these were all 10 cents each. So, they're worth about combined, you know, between, like, 30 and 40 bucks. I figure I can get about 10 bucks a piece for them on eBay or wherever I decide to unload them. But, yeah, for 10 cents each, I was definitely willing to take a chance on them. They're all in really good cosmetic condition, so I'm fairly confident they'll work. You know, I'll have to test them all out and everything, but for 30 cents, I mean, how can you say no? Okay, and the last pickup I think I have for my garage sailing, yeah, it's the last thing I got garage sailing. I'll go ahead and show you. It's a PlayStation lot that I picked up. It was a huge bundle, and I noticed the box, and it basically had 2 gigantic steering wheels, a PS2 console, and some other stuff in it. So I kind of was asking around, and I went to the guy who was running it, and I said, you know, hey, how much did you want for the PlayStation? And he was like, I think we want $50 for it. And you know, I looked through it, and the games weren't really amazing, so I was just like, you know, for $50 I really can't, you know. So I kind of acted not interested and was walking away. And the wife came up, and she says, no, he didn't say 50, he said 15, and, you know, referring to this gentleman's son. And I was instantly interested then. I will buy a PlayStation 2 for $15 any day of the week. They have a crazy secondary market. I guess people mod them, so the demand for them is really high. It was the fat model. So anyways, I kind of started talking with the lady, and I didn't want the steering wheels. They were really, really dusty, and they take up a ton of room. You know, and they're just a pain. So I was like, could you just sell me the PlayStation? And she was like, I really don't want to separate it. You know, and I was like, well, I'll give you 10 for just the PlayStation, you know, and she wouldn't do it. And then she said, I'll tell you what. She's like, just take everything, and it's 10 bucks. So I was not going to complain at that point, even though the box was like 40 pounds. So I'll show you the games quick. They're nothing impressive, like I said. First one is Madden 2002. Next is NASCAR Thunder 2002. NHL 2002. Stop me if you're noticing a trend here. Splashdown, which actually looks pretty decent. It looks like, you know, PlayStation's answer to Wave Race, so I'll check that one out. And then lastly was probably the reason for the steering wheel, Gran Turismo 3, A-Spec. and they are all complete, and they are all in like new condition. They were very, very gently used. I can tell this guy must not have liked his system very much, which is fine because it just hooks me up. Okay, and also with the lot came two like new, and when I say like new, they still have like the filmy texture to them. DualShock PlayStation controllers, and like I said, these are in amazing condition. I mean, they are not scratched or dinged, and the joysticks are fresh. They're not worn down at all, and they're real tight. So, I was happy to grab that. And then lastly, the console, which if you can kind of tell from the reflective light that's coming off of it, this thing is in amazing condition. I mean, it's really, really nice, and I tested it, and it actually works like a charm. It's really quiet in regards to how quiet a PlayStation 2 should be, and there's really no dust in it. I mean, it's in amazing shape. I'm actually going to be keeping this as my actual PS2. I'm going to swap it out with the other one I currently have, so I was very happy to grab all that for 10 bucks. I mean, you really can't beat that. So, all in all, I would say garage selling went very well. I was very, very pleased with how it went. The following week we were going to go, and my friend is actually out of town, so it turns out we didn't go, and the weather kind of sucked anyway. So hopefully we're going to go this weekend. I'm definitely looking forward to going again and kind of, you know, giving it another go. I really want to start finding some cartridge-based games like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64. That's the stuff I've really been looking for. You know, and we did kind of just barely miss it a few times. I know we went to one that had a Game Genie sitting in a box, and it was like all games 75 cents each. And they were like, yeah, the people came here right before you bought like a whole box of Nintendo games for 75 cents each, you know, and I mean, who knows what was in there. So we tried not to let it bother us, you know, and we said, you know, that was their time, we'll get ours. But anyways, that wraps up round one of garage selling. It was really fun. The weather was kind of warm, so it was beautiful out. I got a little sun. I'm not as ghostly as normal, even though I'm still kind of translucent. But anyways, thanks for checking this video out, and there will be more garage selling to come, I assure you. So take care.